You're not on the Salem News Channel. You hear me on the radio show from coast to coast, and this is going to be fun. 27-9 fun. That's how much fun that's going to be. Representative Ann Bollin is with me from Michigan. She did not know I'm from Ohio and that my youngest child's middle name is Ohio and that we won in the big house 27-9. Sorry for the ambush. Are you a Wolverine?
Congratulations. I am a Wolverine. But,
so am I, by the way. I went to law school. But that doesn't mean anything when it comes to the game.
That's right.
So did you go to the game because it was miserable?
No, I did not. I watched it from the comforts of my own family room.
So tell people, and they all know the hand, whereabouts are you from?
So I am from southeast Michigan, the crossroads of Michigan, it's smack dab between Ann Arbor and Flint, Lansing, and Detroit.
All right, so what's
Brighton, Michigan.
Is it a red district? Is it a purple district? Is it a blue district?
So with redistricting, I actually am kind of what they call a +3 Republican district.
Oh, okay.
So I straddle two counties, one that is very red that I used to represent solely, and now I straddle with Oakland County, which is the quickest turning blue county in the state of Michigan.
So I'm 69. I ran my first road race when I was 21 in St. Clair, the 10K on George Washington's birthday, and it was the most miserable weather I've ever been in, so I'll never forget that. Do you represent St. Clair?
No, I do
then
not.
We'll continue the conversation. Let me ask you about Michigan's legislator lineup right now. You've got the governor, who everyone knows. How many senators are Republican and Democrat? How many representatives are Republican and Democrat?
Yeah, so right now we have 58 Republicans in the state house out of 110, so we have a very slim majority. The Republicans do have it. We do have Big Gretch as our governor in the Senate. They have 38 members, and right now, they can't miss one. They have an empty seat. Gretchen Whitmer has finally called an election, concerned that they would lose that to Republican control and they would be tied. So it's sat vacant for over a year now.
So is it a paralyzed legislature? I'm not against paralyzed legislatures, especially not when you've got Governor Whitmer ready to rule by decree for as long as she wants to. What happens?
Well, absolutely, that is true. And so what happened was in 2024, Michigan was the only chamber in the nation to switch, to turn over to Republican leadership, which was a saving grace for the state of Michigan, in my opinion. And so we went from a Democrat trifecta to having the House controlled by Republicans, Senate Democrats, and Big Gretch. And what we found, I wouldn't say that, we're paralyzed necessarily, that basically if the governor wants anything, she's going to have to move and work with the legislature, with the House. And she has done that. We were able to do that with our budget process this year. And we do have a balanced budget constitutional amendment in the state of Michigan. So one, we have to do that. Two, there was a push, and we were going to make it happen that it was going to be a legislature that cut government, did increase spending.
Oh, now what is your priority? What floats your boat?
Well, I want government accountability, and I wanted a fiscally responsible and sustainable budget. I serve as the appropriations chair.
Oh, you are?
I am.
Oh, you are the
in the
money
House.
lady.
Yes, and that and elections are both of my passions as a former election administrator.
Now, in terms of the Republican Party in Michigan, it's had its ups and downs. Is it rebuilding itself into a effective grassroots organization?
I think that it is certainly trying to regain its footing and its momentum, but we can't, as a legislature or as citizens or candidates, be paralyzed with what's going on with the state party, right? And so we've taken a very, very different approach under the leadership of our speaker, Matt Hall, and that is that, we're going to stand on our own, and we are going to go back and deliver for the people across the state of Michigan. And once we do that, we're going to lead by example, and I think that we'll see, kind of a groundswell to elect more Republicans.
What I'm doing with almost every representative from every state is asking them about the Minnesota problem, the fraud problem. $1 billion worth of fraud in the COVID. Does Michigan have such a fraud problem?
Yes, absolutely. Michigan has, I would say it's a much larger problem than Missouri. We saw it during COVID.
Whoa.
We saw it with, the unemployment when Gretchen Whitmer authorized people that were never vetted to work on behalf of the state, not to follow guidelines or suggestions. We had billions of dollars in fraud there, and that we see it in our SNAP system. And so what we did with the budget process there is we really pushed through. We approached it very differently, going line by line, building it from the bottom up, with the idea that we wanted to deliver for the people of the state of Michigan. And what we did is we cut waste, fraud, and abuse because we found it.
Now, President Trump carried Michigan. I don't think he carried it by very much, but he carried Michigan. Is that a trend? Because what happened is Missouri went from blue to purple to red, then Ohio went from blue to purple to red. Michigan has gone from blue to purple, but it's not red. Is it moving that way?
No, I wouldn't say that it's moving that way, but I think that the more we can get in front of the people and really get back to the brass tactics, to the principles, and deliver for the people, they'll see that the Republicans are the ones that work on behalf of the people and for the people and not for special interest. And so I think, it just takes a lot of work on behalf of every one of us that represents the people to get out, be boots on the ground, understand what's happening, and deliver.
How do you draw your districts in Michigan?
Well, we have an independent redistricting
those.
commission
I hate those.
by constitutional amendment from, left wing. Probably foreign investments came to our state and invested in a constitutional amendment. We've had many that have overturned our elections in the state of Michigan in the last 8 years.
And so, is it a fair shake coming down the pike? You guys will lose a couple of districts, won't you? You'll lose at least one.
Yeah. I mean, what they did was there are many more districts now that are 50-50 districts, if you will. And I would say one thing that everybody should have learned through these independent redistricting commissions is that redistricting is not easy. It is difficult to do. It is not an easy task, but it makes it a lot easier when you set out to make it swing one way. And that's not been the way it's been in the state of Michigan. It ebbs and flows. Whoever was doing it was the legislature that did it in the past.
So let me ask you about our alma mater, and we only have 2 minutes.
Yes.
It had a very bad run with anti-Semitism. The law school has gone left of left. There's just absolutely no balance on campus. Does everyone realize that what used to be a great institution the law school was ranked with Harvard and Yale, it's become an activist ideological factory. I don't know about the undergrads, but I suspect as much.
Well, it is. It's very sad to see that what really is a world-renowned institution really is a campus for indoctrination. And to really what they've seen, the hate that they've allowed on campus. And so we've tried through the budget process to rein some of that back in.
Oh.
And, more accountability on administrative dollars, what they're investing in. But it is a hard nut to crack. But we're not going to stop trying.
Do you have any support among the Democrats, and Bollin, we have 1 minute, to change the University of Michigan and Michigan State to make it balanced in any way?
Well, one thing is our university boards are elected statewide. They're not appointed by a governor, and I think maybe it's time to revisit that. Should they be appointed by a governor, at least at that point you have some accountability and some change. And is there an appetite to change that? Not right now, but I think there is an appetite to make sure that our state dollars are wisely invested when we're giving dollars to the universities.
You up for re-election in 26?
I am up for re-election.
Okay, everyone. What's
Rehire.
your website?
Ann Bollin for state rep.
Is it Ann Bollin for state rep?
Ann
All
Bollin
spelled
for
out.
state rep.
Ann Bollin for state rep. Listen up, Michigan. She chairs appropriations. You really want to keep her in if you're in her district, because that matters a lot. Thank you, Ann.